Hey guys, how's it going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today I want to do a quick video on mouse versus keyboard in BF4. This is a question I think a lot of people wonder about, and considering I play on both systems now, I feel like I should probably cover it. Now, the first thing I should point out is that I've sort of held off making this video because I wanted to make sure it wasn't my skill as a player that was affecting my opinion of the controls. As you can see, I've racked up about 50 hours now on PC, which is still a lot less than the 600 I have on PS4, but my stats really aren't that different. It took me quite a while to get to this point on PC though, and while I'm not going to claim that I'm an exceptional player on both platforms, I think that I've got a pretty good grasp of the game. I didn't expect the PC to drastically change the way I played the game, but it did, and I think part of the difficulty in switching to mouse and keyboard is learning to break your old habits. I think the first thing you notice about mouse and keyboard versus a controller is the fact that the button layout can get kind of confusing. There aren't as many buttons to deal with as in a game like Arma, but it's still nowhere near as user-friendly to use a keyboard compared to a controller. All of the buttons on the controller are either already under your thumbs or not far away, and there's a decent gap between the buttons that helps you avoid hitting the wrong one. A keyboard is a little harder in this respect, and although you do get used to it pretty quickly, just be aware that you will accidentally hit the wrong buttons a fair bit before you build up that muscle memory. Another big difference between the controls on PC compared to the console is the aim assist function. A lot of people think the console aim assist is overpowered, and while I will say sometimes in close quarters it does feel that way, I wouldn't say it makes playing on a console that much easier. On the PC, you can more easily line up stationary targets with the mouse, but when it comes to moving targets, it's a lot harder to get a kill because there's no aim assist to track your target. On console, it's basically the reverse, and although it definitely changes how you play the game, honestly I don't think either platform feels easier to control, and at the end of the day, everyone is playing on a level playing field. Now, in terms of how the controls affect gameplay, well, the big difference I think comes in the long-range accuracy and reaction time. On PC, you just can't get away with running out in the open like you can on PS4 because it's so much easier for snipers and vehicles to quickly mouse over you and take you out. On the other hand, I think that CQB combat is just a little bit more effective on console because of aim assist, and I feel like I need to rely on hipfire a lot more on the PC to get the job done. Because of this, I tend to run with the laser a lot on PC, and I'd probably go even a little further and say that I prefer carbines on PC over ARs because of the hipfire and mobility bonuses. And finally, to finish up, in terms of weapons and attachments, apart from the laser, you might find yourself using very different setups on PC compared to the console. Accurate, high damage weapons like the DMRs, bolt actions, and even the 7.62 ARs are all a lot more effective because of the ability to line up easier headshots with a mouse. Because of this, on PC, players seem to be a bit more passive than they are on PS4, and this is saying something considering I'm a pretty passive player to begin with. In general, I think players tend to close in for the kill a little more on PS4, and it makes you realise how aggressive you actually are as a console player when you always end up out ahead of everyone sponging up the enemy's bullets. So the question is mouse or keyboard better for BF4? And honestly, I'd have to say that I don't think either is really better than the other. It's definitely a lot more relaxing to play on a controller, and it's definitely a bit more accurate to play with a mouse and keyboard, but I don't think either is really more effective than the other. I know some people prefer one or the other, and I guess in the past I've even been someone who prefers a controller. These days I appreciate both though, and as long as you put in the effort to get good at whichever version you're playing on, I really don't think the control method affects how fun the game ultimately is. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you prefer mouse and keyboard controls or a controller for Battlefield 4? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, if you like what you see, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't already, please check out all my other Battlefield 4 videos. I've got them all linked in a playlist in the description below, and until next time, see you later, and have a good one.